Wow, it's happening. Ravi, glass of water, please. I'm ready.
LifeBridge presents KC Life Talks, Life and Leadership Lessons.
In my second attempt to pass year 10, thank God I scraped through, and now I have an opportunity to go to a university campus to do our plus 11 and plus 2, where most of young people get an opportunity to kind of do some extravagant stuff and try out and explore things. It's an age in life where one needs to be belonging and to be accepted. And I thought in my high school days, I had no friends and everybody hated me and tagged me. And so now I felt that what can I do to find acceptance? Where can I belong? And I found an avenue in the university campus where I was accepted, and that was the political groups within the campuses, the unions. And home, we are very conservative political party, family. But here in the campus environment, I joined a very liberal group, the SFI Student Union, the Student Federation of India, which is under the Communist Party of the state of Kerala, where we had opportunities to do stuff that are extravagant and crazy things, where you can be part of a friend circle. But it meant I needed money to have the kind of friend circle. The more money you had, the more friends you would have. And so the only way I could get money was to steal money from home. And so I ventured into stealing money from my grandfather. I ventured into stealing money from my uncle's homes, and any opportunity I can get to steal money from my family and my immediate relatives, I would steal money just so that I can be part of this gang to do this mischievous stuff in the campus. And I was just not attending the classes at all. I was on the front line of all the political stir in the campus, all simply because I just wanted people to accept me and be made part of the group where I can feel like I'm belonging to somewhere. And but I realized that all of this, the efforts that I'm doing is not enough to gain the acceptance I needed. And so the more crazy things I attempted. We were involved in a political stir in our city where I was on the front line of burning a public government bus. And I still remember being arrested by the cops. The police bus came and loaded all of us, and we were taken to the police station. And a group of young people that were part of our group, we actually jumped the fence of the police station and we escaped and didn't get caught further after that. There was other tragic things that we did in the campus where I have abused my professors in the college, and I really felt that I have gained now curses from my teachers because of the kind of things that mischiefs I have done. So all of this meant that now I'm so far away from God and from spirituality, and on my one side, my family are in the pain of the anguish of my dad's illness. Now the oldest son, James, is living a life that is not at all what they ever hoped it would be. So I became now labeled as an outcast within the family. I tried to run away from home, and I would sleep on the corridors of stores overnight and then come home somehow next day, and I would get beaten up. But the more beatings I got, the more I used to be mischievous and rebellious, all in view of wanting to be embraced by these peers and friends. But I realized that that was also not giving me the satisfaction and the fulfillment in my life. And I still remember there was a young man who was leading a prayer group in the campus. And he would constantly tell me, James, the path that you have taken is the path of destruction. This is going to lead you to one day maybe become a murderer or a criminal, or you're going to end up in jail if you go this path. Why don't you come to this prayer meeting? And after this invitation, any side of this man, I would flee, I would run away, and didn't want to be part of anything that this man had to offer me. And so God was giving me opportunities many times, the God seed and the faith and the little hope, the glimmer of hope, the fact that I stood for God even in my early childhood, all of that was somehow, kind of running away and moving away into utter hopelessness and emptiness in my own life. And so here I was in 1984. Life became ruins to me, and there was no solution. There was no hope for me in the future. And I realized it is time to end it all. It is time to finish the story of my life. And with the church not giving me the kind of connection to find hope in God, or not having a spiritual mentor or a guide or a spiritual father or even an earthly father to guide, I became disillusioned, and I was drifting deep into depression without me ever even realizing it. That have driven me at the age of 16 to contemplate and plan on ending my life. Initially, I thought of jumping into our own homemade well, and somehow there was a fear in me about water, and I think that fear of water kept me away from jumping into the well. And on one side I have this fear of death, and on the other side I want to end it. And there was sulfuric acid in our house to mix the rubber milk for the rubber plantations, and I thought of drinking the sulfuric acid and ending my life. Then I got scared of what if I don't die and I only burn my food pipes or my internal organs and I'll be in pain. So in those days, there's not many options to go and Google ways to commit suicide. So the only other avenue that I knew that many people have done in those era was take the ropes and hang myself. And I somehow analyzed the various options, and this was probably the best option. So I still remember taking the ropes that my grandfather kept for tying the animals, and walking into the bush, into a very secluded place where there is no other human beings in sight. There was an overpowering sense of spirit of death that have now taken over me, and it is no more James Chaco, and I really don't even have the ability to assess the pros and cons of anything. And here I was walking with these ropes, and so I was with these ropes in my hands, ready to end my life. And I was walking into this deep jungle, and I found this place where normally people would go, and is known for a place of suicide. And so I knew that there was this place, and I went there walking far away from house, and I stood under this tree in this dark place where even the sunlight could not enter. And I found myself with ropes in my hands, and I'm asking all these questions to God, and I'm ready to end it, ready to finish my life at that very moment. Do you believe God is still in control of my life? Do you still believe He has a plan for me? Standing under the tree, the gloom, dark place was all but the smell of death. It was moments to go before I'm about to climb this tree and end it all. And I still remember that moment.
Don't miss the story and experience. Subscribe LifeBridge and stay tuned.